Out of all the women in the world that Diddy could have gotten with, he chose 50 Cent's baby mother.
It's a lot of variables to this particular question. Because I talk to a lot of people, older, younger, even my daughter, who's 22, she didn't understand it. So people give their opinion based on what they've experienced and their environment, people they've been around. So to the people that understand boundaries and respect, I always tell men you should never date another man's girl if you're not aware of it. If you know it, then it's wrong.
50 Cent is stirring up headlines again. This time he's dropping a wild claim that didn't make it into his explosive Netflix documentary about Diddy. He said there was way too much shocking material to squeeze into just 4 episodes, so some stories had to be cut, including one major allegation. According to 50, one of the claims that got left out was about Diddy secretly having a child with a woman who once told deep stories about Tupac Shakur. That's some serious drama. His crew supposedly had to scrap that part because of time limits, but 50 didn't sound too worried. He teased that instead of holding back for another season, he might just drop all that unreleased footage straight on YouTube. He also revealed that ever since the documentary aired, more and more people have been sliding into his DMs with new info. Everyone's wondering the same thing. What's really pushing 50 to keep coming for Diddy like this? Let me tell you, the real reason behind all this will blow your mind. TK Kirkland just dropped his take on why 50 Cent went so hard with that Diddy documentary right from the jump. He said people are missing a huge piece of the puzzle. While some fans think 50's just being petty or chasing clout, TK made it clear there's way more to this story than anyone realizes. According to TK, out of every woman in the world, Diddy made the bold move of getting involved with 50 Cent's baby mama. That right there, TK says, crossed a serious line. He called it flat out disrespectful. TK explained that in all his years, he's never once gone near someone who used to be with one of his friends, because that's just something real men don't do. He added that Diddy isn't some regular guy with no choices. He's got fame, money, and access to just about anyone on the planet. So for him to go after 50's ex, TK said that says everything about Diddy's mindset. Because of that, TK believes Diddy getting involved with 50 Cent's baby mama wasn't some random thing. It was planned. He said there's no way that move was accidental, especially knowing the long history of tension between Diddy and 50. TK thinks Diddy did it on purpose, just to send a message and stir things up even more.
But he went after the baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And slutted her out.
Slutted out.
Just slutted her out.
Slutted out.
Having a whole basketball team run a train on her.
Totally
and
did. I
just
totally
the whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter.
Kim Porter.
Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure his baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then Eric Serum, his friend, the one that had she had his baby, Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend.
He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, well, if you don't understand this, then you're just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no-no. There's no way I would go after Vlad's ex-girlfriend.
Right.
I'm so loyal that if I met a woman and she said, oh yeah, I used to date Vlad, I can't with you.
Right.
I won't even put my, excuse my language, because that's how I move. Other people don't move like that, but you see me in Paris, you see me all over the world. Why would I want to do that to mess up a relationship?
But here's where things take another twist. Even though 50's documentary has been blowing up and getting tons of praise online, not everyone's celebrating his win. Gene Deal just came forward with some serious claims. He says parts of the documentary weren't original at all. According to Gene, some of his ideas were used without giving him any credit. That's got people talking, wondering if there's more drama behind the scenes than anyone expected. Gene also spoke on the buzz that 50 might be gearing up to drop even more footage online soon, and he's convinced Diddy won't be able to stop it this time. He said if that documentary could have been blocked, it already would have been. In Gene's eyes, that says a lot about how much power Diddy used to have, or maybe how much of it he's already lost. That's a bold claim right there. Gene didn't stop there either. He went on to say that Diddy's always had this strange obsession with Tupac, like a complex that shaped the way he moved through life. According to Gene, that energy influenced almost every major decision Diddy ever made, from his rivalries to his relationships. But here's the thing, this documentary isn't telling the full story. A lot of viewers couldn't help but notice one major gap that stood out like a spotlight. The whole project barely mentioned Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of several of his kids. She tragically passed away in 2018 at only 47 years old, and her story deserved way more attention than it got. The official report said she died from pneumonia, but many people have never fully believed that explanation. Whispers have been going around for years, with some claiming Diddy has something to do with what happened. Kim had been by Diddy's side for ages. She saw everything, his personal life, his business moves, and all the secrets that went down behind closed doors. And yet, the documentary barely scratched the surface of her story, leaving everyone wondering why. According to several insiders, Kim Porter's story was left out of the documentary on purpose. Sources say the team thought it was way too sensitive, maybe even too controversial to touch. Gene revealed that he actually knew Kim personally and had even looked out for her a few times. He said she definitely knew a lot, maybe more than anyone else in Diddy's circle. But none of that ever made it into the final cut, and that's got people seriously questioning why.
I seen an interview about, he said that he had a lot of footage had to be down, the documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary, and they could have had 45 minutes, they could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand? She could say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. If you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Kirkland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez's show and talk about, yo, Big, he wore mixed max shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing that on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Maury's, size 14D. Big wore 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them on and he went out there and performed. Those was my Gators that he had on. You understand? They did a little skit trying to disrespect me in the movie. You understand? And they said something about, oh, we got this from Big Sexy.
He also talked about rumors that
in the documentary, they only flashed a few photos of her, briefly mentioned she was the mother of Diddy's kids, and then quickly moved on. For someone who played such a huge role in his life, that silence feels impossible to ignore. and things get even darker. Mark Curry came forward with a chilling story about Kim and Diddy. He claimed Diddy used to monitor her private conversations and would lose his temper whenever he overheard something he didn't like. That detail alone left people speechless, wondering what was really going on behind closed doors. Mark shared a wild story that shocked everyone. He remembered a moment when Diddy completely lost it after finding out about a phone call Kim had with producer Shakir Stewart. According to Mark, Diddy later ran into Shakir at a party and things went left fast. He allegedly snapped and attacked him with a chair. That's the kind of rage Mark says Diddy was known for when things didn't go his way. But that's not the only thing raising eyebrows. Another major red flag is how the documentary handled Diddy's legendary parties, the ones that had everyone in the industry talking for decades. These weren't just regular get-togethers, they were massive events that pulled in celebrities, athletes, executives, and other powerful people from every corner of entertainment. Yet somehow, the documentary barely showed any of that. No famous faces, no wild behind-the-scenes stories, nothing. That silence feels too convenient, especially since so many big names have been publicly tied to Diddy for years, but now, not one of them is saying a word. Jaguar Wright didn't hold back. She said people are too busy digging into Diddy's music career when the real story started way before the fame ever hit. In her eyes, everyone's missing the point. She believes to truly understand who Diddy became, you have to look inside his own home and how he was raised. That's where it all began. Jaguar claimed Diddy saw a lot as a kid, things no child should ever have to witness. She said while his mother was caught up living her own life, there were always random people coming and going through the house, strangers everywhere. According to her, growing up in that kind of unstable environment can seriously shape a kid's mind. It can leave marks that never fade. She believes Diddy may have been emotionally affected long before the music industry ever got its grip on him. Jaguar also mentioned how Diddy once spoke about being proud when he found out his father had a reputation as a hustler, and she said that reaction alone speaks volumes. Jaguar connected that whole mindset to the way hip-hop culture later started praising the same kind of street legends, the ones who moved with power, fear, and respect. She said even the stage names and rap personas people picked came straight out of old gangster movies, built around that same image of control and dominance. But according to her, Diddy didn't just admire that world, he related to it because it reminded him of what he grew up seeing every day.
Do you think that Diddy important?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Muir talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting cocaine at the Kit Kat Club.
Jaguar also brought up something that made everyone uncomfortable. Diddy's relationship with his mother. She called it strange and uneasy for reasons that she described as extremely eerie, the kind of thing that makes you pause and think twice. And what really shook people was when she said the pattern has come full circle. Jaguar claimed that several people told her Diddy's own kids have been around situations no child should ever witness. She questioned what kind of parenting lets something like that happen, and why so many grown folks around him chose to stay quiet instead of speaking up. Jaguar didn't stop there. She went even deeper, saying the silence around Diddy's circle isn't just fear, it's protection. She believes too many people owe him favors or are scared of losing their spot, so they pretend not to see what's really going on. She said, there's a whole system built to keep his image clean no matter what's happening behind the scenes. That claim alone sent shockwaves through fans online. She went on to say that some insiders have whispered about Diddy keeping detailed records, videos, phone calls, even messages to make sure nobody could ever cross him. According to Jaguar, that's how he's managed to stay untouchable for so long. Everyone knows he's got dirt on people in high places, and that's what keeps mouths shut. Now, with 50 Cent teasing more unreleased footage and people like Jaguar speaking out, the tension around Diddy's name is only getting heavier. It feels like something big is about to break, and when it does, it might change everything. As more voices come forward, the pressure around Diddy's empire is getting intense. Insiders are starting to whisper that the people who once stood by him are slowly backing away, and fast. Some of his old friends, business partners, and even artists he helped launch are suddenly staying quiet or deleting old photos with him online. That kind of silence speaks volumes. Rumor has it that a few of his former associates are now lawyering up, preparing for what could be a wave of legal fallout if new evidence surfaces. People online are saying this isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. It's turning into something way bigger, something that might finally expose the darker side of the industry. And while Diddy hasn't said much publicly, fans noticed he's been acting more distant than usual, skipping public events and keeping his social media unusually low-key. It's almost like he knows the walls are closing in, and everyone's just waiting to see who speaks out next. At this point, the situation around Diddy has exploded into something way beyond the music scene. Every week, new people are coming out with their own experiences. Old employees, security guards, former artists, even people who claim to have been at those wild parties everyone's been whispering about for years. Social media has turned into a full investigation zone, with fans piecing together timelines, reposting old interviews, and pointing out moments that suddenly make a lot more sense now. It's like the whole world is rewatching his career with new eyes.
It was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through some shit like that? Or how do you look at your girl and knowing that she's in another dude? What kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that shit don't bother you? And got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She was gonna expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then in real time?
Yeah. Yep. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them, and I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there, and I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He done put a lot of groups, A-listed groups out there, especially A-listed groups from Atlanta.
Behind the scenes, though, things are getting tense. Several reports claim that some networks are quietly reviewing contracts and distancing themselves from anything tied to Diddy's name. Brands that once celebrated him are suddenly reevaluating partnerships, which is code for cutting ties without saying it directly. Even a few industry legends who used to defend him are going ghost. No statements, no comments, just silence. That says more than words ever could. Meanwhile, 50 Cent seems to be enjoying every minute of it. He's been posting cryptic messages and teasing that he's far from done telling this story. He said he's got even more footage, more witnesses, and too much truth to fit in one season. Fans are already bracing themselves for the next drop, because if the first documentary caused this much chaos, the next one could flip the entire industry on its head. Jaguar Wright also came back with another bombshell, claiming that several people connected to Diddy's inner circle are panicking because they don't know how much footage 50 has or who might be featured in it. She said people are calling each other trying to figure out if they're on camera. That kind of fear shows just how deep this story might run. And through all this madness, one question keeps echoing online. How far will this go before the truth finally comes out? The energy around Diddy has shifted completely. What once looked like power now feels like pressure. And the people who used to cheer for him are suddenly watching from a distance. Everyone's waiting, holding their breath, wondering if the next reveal will be the one that finally brings everything crashing down. Now, everything surrounding Diddy feels like it's reaching a breaking point. The tension is heavy, like the calm before a storm that everyone knows is coming. Reports keep surfacing about people being questioned, footage being passed around, and new names being dropped every week. What started as rumors and internet gossip has turned into a full-blown cultural moment, shaking up the music industry from the inside out. Even the biggest stars, the ones who used to party with him, post him, and praise him, have gone completely silent. That silence is louder than any statement could ever be. Meanwhile, insiders say Diddy's been trying to manage the chaos privately, calling in lawyers, reaching out to old connections, and trying to control the story before it spirals even further. But it might be too late. Once the internet locks in, there's no turning back. People are now pulling up receipts from years ago, connecting dots that nobody noticed before, and painting a picture that's honestly hard to ignore. Even 50 Cent seems to know the power of the moment. He's feeding the fire with every post, every teaser, every hint that there's more to come. And what's wild is that the public isn't just watching anymore. They're participating, dissecting everything in real time. Every clip, every quote, every photo gets analyzed like evidence. It's not just entertainment anymore, it's exposure. At this point, it feels like we're watching a legacy unravel right in front of us. The same empire that once represented success and luxury, now surrounded by controversy and suspicion. Whether you believe Diddy's being unfairly targeted or finally being exposed, one thing's for sure, the truth can't stay buried forever. The cracks are showing, and the world's watching every second of it unfold. So now the question is, what do you think will happen next? Will Diddy fight back, or will more people come forward with stories that can't be ignored? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it, because this story is far from over.
It was the other day they just did a whole thing with the girl that he was dating was the one that was putting the wiretaps and all of that out. It was a clear case. She came, hey, I was the one who's doing the wiretaping and all of this, right? The tapping. So I knew about this before she came out and said that she was the one that was doing it. I was sitting there like, damn, he know everything she doing. He know her conversation. I'm sitting there like when I'm sitting there right there next to him, when I'm hearing them saying, this is what Shakira Stewart was saying to Kim Porter on the phone that made him mad. That made him so mad at Shakira Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair. You don't think if he hit a man with a chair for dating this girl, you know, they gonna have a fight at home too. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, they say he busts her nose up on the boat. And have you ever been to Sandro Pay's see a brother play a mandolay? Remember that was in his song? I need a good woman next to me. So then it happened in what was it, Sandro Pay? Like that island. And then he bust her nose. They had a shit. She said they tried to make it seem like she slipped and fell. She slipped and fell and broke her nose. Nah, the truth was she slipped and fell and landed on his fist. Yeah, but that's what happens when you put your hands on females. I don't really have much respect for a man who's physically abusive towards women, man. I kind of think they be kind of suspect. I'd be like, man, you know, girls fight girls.
So what are your thoughts on all the his celebrity friends that denounced those allegations and were like, this is false, and you know,
liars.
They were saying, yeah, should they speak up now?
it's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Or for Justin Bieber alone.